welcome back to my channel. So today's writing workshop is writing workshop 3 and it is all about a film review. So it's something that gives information about the film that you've watched. It's something that expresses an opinion. So it tells me what you thought about that film. It gives your reason for your opinion. So you can't just say, oh, I thought it was great, and not tell me why. I want to know why you liked it or maybe even disliked it. Provides an overall summary. So this means it basically tells me the main parts of the story so that I can tell what it's about without going into every tiny little detail, because otherwise it would be a massive piece of writing. Focuses on the key details. So again, it just focuses on the main things that happened, the main things you liked, the main things you didn't like. It's not every single little bit, because as I've said before, it'll just be a really, really long piece of writing and your reader will lose interest. Uses technical language, so it might be technical language from the film, or it might be technical language about the things that you liked or didn't like. So it might be the script, it might be the way that it's been filmed, so there's lots of different things there. And uses persuasive techniques, so essentially you're either going to try and persuade the person reading your writing to watch it because you thought it was great, or not to watch it because you thought it was rubbish. So these writing workshops, the best writing comes from a careful plan. You can't do a piece of writing without first thinking about what you're writing about, the kind of features that you want to include. So on the screen now are two that you could use. You might have your own plans that you like to do, but if not, here are some really, really good structures. Vocabulary is very important. Vocabulary is very important, particularly in this piece of writing when we're going to be explaining how we felt or our opinions on it. And you don't want to go with the really, really basic words such as I thought this was a good film, or I thought this was a bad film, or I was shocked when I found that this happened. So here are quite a few words that you could use anyway, some really, really good synonyms. Remember, not every single word works in every single sentence, so if you're not sure about the word, you could go and ask somebody else, ask an adult, or go into the dictionary or the thesaurus and just check that that word that you've chosen just works in the sentence that you've written. So before we go into lots and lots of detail about the specific features, we actually need to think about what information we could write about in our film review. So you could write about your favourite scene, your favourite part of the movie, or maybe your least favourite part if you're telling me about a film that you didn't like. You could tell me about the setting, so where does the film take place? It could be in a faraway kingdom, it could be on a different planet, it could be under the water, if you're writing about The Little Mermaid, for example. So think about where it's set. The plot, what is it about? Remember, you're not telling me every single little thing that happens, you're just telling me the main part of the story. What you specifically liked or disliked, any of the characters or maybe even the actors if you know who plays them, and special effects. And that can go for both real life films and animated films, but definitely in year 5 as well, that you would be expected to be using now. Videos, if you've not seen them, go back and have a look. But basically these are the kind of features that particularly in year 6, but definitely in year 5 as well, that you would be expected to be using now in your writing. Definitely be thinking about using in your pieces of writing anyway. So first of all, the features that you should just definitely be thinking about using in your pieces of writing anyway. So first of all, the purpose for writing. So out of all of those ones, we're writing to inform because we're giving information about the film that you have watched. Use paragraphs to organise ideas, definitely, because it helps you order and structure your writing. Describe setting and character, yes, because although you're not writing your own story, I would like you to tell me where the film is set and talk to me a bit about the characters within it. Devices to structure writing such as headings, subheadings, bullet points, front adverbials. To be honest, out of all of those ones, front adverbials, yes, particularly time connectives to move me through the film. You could break it down into sections and have headings and subheadings. So you might have a bit about the plot and you might have a bit about the actors and a bit about what you like. So you could break it down that way too. Then all of the things in the use mostly correctly are definitely some things you can use. Apostrophes for contractions, yep. Commas for lists, yep. Exclamation marks and question marks, yep. Capital letters and full stops, just definitely. Particularly remember, if you're telling me where the film took place or who was in it, the name of characters, they also need capital letters. Spelling the 3, 4 and 5, 6 words correctly, again you can just Google those words lists. They're nice and easy to find, and joined handwriting is a must. So let's put these down in our notes. Okay, so we've added it on here. Let's move on to the next part of the task to find some higher level features. Okay, so now we're looking at working at the expected standard. So create atmosphere, simile, metaphor, personification. Yes, you can get these into this piece of writing. You might describe the character using a simile or a metaphor or even the setting, but again, not really the main focus of this piece of writing because it's more informative. Speech to advance the action, probably not. You might give me a quote that your character said from the film, and you might be telling me what they're doing as they're saying it, so it might be your favourite line from the film, but there'll be no real conversation going on because it's just an informative piece of writing. Again, we've got the Year 5-6 spelling list, cursive handwriting, which we know about, verb tenses consistently, so remember that you are telling me about something that you have watched in the past. Cohesive devices we've talked about. Parentheses, semicolons, colons and hyphens. All of these would definitely be something that you should think about using in your piece of writing. Just gives you that next level. So let's add these to our notes. Remember, if you're making notes to make your own film review, you can take down what we're putting at the side. Just pause the screen and add them onto your list. Okay, so there's a massive list on there for you to have a look at. As you wish, you can pause the screen to have a look into, but just making sure that you use them at the appropriate time. Okay, so there's a massive list on there for you to have a look at. As you wish, you can pause the screen to have a look into it in a bit more detail. Okay, so on your screen now, there is a film review for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. If it was going to be me writing one, of course, it would either be Harry Potter or Disney because they are my favourite films. So pause the screen, have a read of what I have written here, and then we'll just have a talk through some of the features that I have used. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So the first thing that I want to pull your attention to is the vocabulary that's been used. Things like it's hard to express, or gargantuan, or explain it's labyrinth. So we've got very, very specific vocabulary in there, and again, you can use the thesaurus online to help you with that. It talks about the people involved, both the characters and the people who wrote it. It has fronted adverbials within there, such as thank Dumbledore. Then it has got some specific things about the cost, so background information about the film, which to be honest you could just Google and find out about the film that you've watched. It's got commas for clarity in there, so after 10 years, 8 films, 4 directors, so that bit there, the commas not only are there for clarity but actually listing. My list is 10 years, 8 films, 4 directors and $6 billion at the box office. Obviously I took this from an American site. So there's lots and lots of things in there, and obviously we've talked about more features that you could include because yours will be a little bit longer than mine. Either your favourite film or maybe a film that you've never watched before, and you can actually say to your parents, I'm allowed to watch a film, it's part of my work. Go and enjoy it, maybe make some notes as you're watching it about what it's about or your favourite part, write that down, and then have a go at writing your film review, and you can comment down below to tell me what film you have decided to review.